We're live.
It's happening. Oh my God, we did it.
Boy, that took it out of me.
Hey, YouTube.
The 45 minutes of technical difficulties trying to make that happen.
We did it. Cheers. How are you? Yes. Hello, YouTube people.
Where have we been?
Living our best life.
Where is everybody? Where has Jenna and Bodhi Elfman been?
Living our best life, raising our kids and working our tails off.
Yeah, we've been working our tails off. There's been a lot going on. We thought we'd do a little live one for fun. There's no questions asked on this one. I don't think we're answering any questions. Let's see if it all. Yeah, there's no questions that come up, but we've missed you guys too. We're
alive and well. We're just living and doing stuff.
So I had something funny happen with Jenna the other day, and I didn't want to give her too much of an inclination of what this was about, but it's an interesting topic. Wait a minute. So just first off, so you know how we were waiting to hear back from your hair cutter?
Yeah, she still hasn't responded.
Yeah. So you guys are all going to be able to deal with that, right? It just
look, it's not because we haven't tried.
It's just
she's just not on her phone very much.
It just grows. Okay. Romania. It's a busy time for you guys. Okay, so we had an interesting thing happen, which is a dynamic in relationships. So let's see how to put this. So I think that this can apply to all relationships, but I imagine, well, my perspective is from a relationship with a man and a woman, right? So it could happen with any type of relationship, all colors and spectrums of the rainbow. But I'm going to tell this from the viewpoint of a man and a woman in our marriage, and it really made me laugh. Okay, so we were trying to give a friend of ours some advice who's newly engaged. I'm not going to say whether this is a boy or a girl, a cat or a mouse, a dog or a cat.
It's going to become evident, but anywho, continue.
No, we're not saying anything. So we're not throwing anyone under the bus, but a friend of ours is newly engaged. And let me see if I can back this up. This was very ill prepared because of technical difficulties, but we'll get through this. So we
were in the kitchen.
I know where I was. And I was saying, to this person, okay, I guess I have to say.
Well, let's just back it up, okay? It started with how annoying men can be sometimes.
That's a good point to back it up to, right?
Let's just start with the facts.
Yeah. So it was a girl we were talking to. It was one of Jenna's friends.
Yeah. And she was trying to get something done over the phone with her fiance. That was she just needed like a quick sign off on something so that she could get something done. Like just needed his signature, but it wasn't like for a permanent thing. It was just like a temporary thing. And he was like, whoa, because he was traveling. He's out of town. And he's like, whoa. And I just need to, he just wanted to make sure all the ducks were in a row. And she's like, I don't have anywhere to put this right now. And she's like, look, it's not permanent. All the ducks are in a row. Just sign so I can get this thing. So I wanted to see an apartment. And so it was a deposit just to hold the apartment so it didn't go away before they had a chance to look at it. Okay?
Yeah.
And he was kind of putting the stops on it just because he wanted to do due diligence. And she is just trying to get this done. And she was trying to convince him that you're not signing your life away. You're not even signing a lease. You're just signing the okay. And
so I'm sitting
where you're like hearing all of this conversation.
I'm in the other room. Jenna's talking to her girlfriend. She's like, oh my God, what we got to I don't know why he doesn't just sign it. And Jenna's like, yeah, I know. And then I say from the room, because it's true, I was like, can't men be such a pain in the ass? And both Jenna and her friend are like, oh my God. And they're
you were saying you were like learning things about yourself by hearing it from like
getting my perspective,
an objective kind of
how I often in the marriage stop things because I want to check it out. Right. I'm like, wait a minute, let me sniff around here. And she's like, I just want to do this thing. I'm like, wait a minute.
And I was saying, because it's annoying because it's like, you don't trust us. Just let the ladies do their thing. And then when it comes time where we need you to do your thing, we'll let you know. But don't like stop our every move. Right. Just like let us do our thing. And it makes us feel like you by default think that we're going to do something wrong.
Right,
God forbid if it involves a signature, you better like.
So I was seeing it from your point of view, right? And I was like, oh my God, it's
You're
so
like,
true.
that's annoying.
Yeah, I was like, God, men, why? And I'm like, I do the same thing. I'm saying this to Jenna and her friend. I do the same thing. I have to stop everything and to control it and try to figure it out. And women are just sort of like more impulsive. No, let me just hang on. They're quicker.
Impulsive sounds like
impulsive.
we don't think things through.
Yeah, well, let's go with think they're quicker and sometimes impulsive.
Who found our very first house?
You.
Was that impulsive?
Yes.
Or is it just knowing when things are right? We
Both.
don't have to like overthink it.
Right. True. So, but here's what happened. Let me get to the point here. Is everybody catching up with us on this so far? So I was like, boy, men can be such a pain in the ass when they just slow powerful women down from just getting shit done. Okay. And then I was thinking about it later and I was like, but and I was saying to Jenna's friend, let's call her Harmony. I'm calling her Harmony. Because I got to have a name in my head. Her name's not Harmony. I'm calling her Harmony.
That's so random.
So I say, Harmony, here's the one thing that you're missing that I didn't think about. You got to treat them. Don't say anything yet. I said, you got to treat them like a king a little bit. Like men like to be treated like the king. And you got to be like, hey, Poppy, okay, I'll wait for you. You got to like do that kind of thing where he's the king, right? And Jenna literally snorts from the other room, like snorts, like, and I was like, well, it's true, sweetheart. Like you do.
Sweetheart.
I was like, you do have to treat a man a little bit like the king. It helps the men. And she said, and then this is where Jenna got on her high horse. It was a very tall horse that she got on.
I'm still on it. Yes. I haven't gotten
on it. Oh, I know. And she said, well, he's going to be the king if he just is the king. He doesn't have to get treated like the king. And then I realized I better shut this shit fucking down fast because I've got two women in here with their cackles up and I'm not going to win this argument. But I thought later, I was like, as I was like making my sandwich in the kitchen, I was like, well, you do have to treat us like the king. And that's part of the fucking problem is that you hate treating us like the king. And your viewpoint was like, if you're the king, then you are the king. You don't need to be treated like a king. And it's such an incredible thing in the dynamic.
No, you will be if you just be first. You have to yourself. Okay, sorry. I'll wait till it's my turn to step on the soapbox.
I agree with you that it's that a man have to have that about himself truly so internally.
And externally, but self-generated first.
But there is a bit of something to say that it's a little bit of a mind game or a little bit of a something or other when you emasculate the man a tiny bit and then be like, well, just be the man then. Just, I don't need to treat you like that. You just are. You don't need my approval. It's a little bit of like, yeah, but when you kind of chop the dingus down a little bit and it makes it harder to fight through. But I didn't want to talk about it in real life with you and Harmony right there. So I decided to talk about it on a podcast where we could have more fun. If I tried to talk about it right there, we would have gotten into an argument. So I do it here because it's like
bringing something up in a restaurant so that it won't go into an argument.
Yeah. Podcast. Jenna.
And live even more so. This is
live podcast Jenna is the nicest Jenna I know. Live podcast. Look at her. Live podcast Jenna is the most agreeable version of Jenna I know. So my proposal to you is this point about, isn't there any truth that a man needs to be a little bit manned up a little bit like, hey, Poppy, okay, you're the man. Like a little bit like that. And you hate that. You hate it.
Here's what I think it should be.
Remember, we're live.
I know we're live. I'm happy to talk deeply about it live. I've got no back off whatsoever on this subject.
Okay, Poppy.
I don't think there's any difference between the symbology of man and woman and having to arbitrarily, like a layer of icing, act like he's the king arbitrarily.
Okay.
To me, it's out of sequence. As it is with an individual who wants, let's say an individual wants to be very popular or something. And so then they need everyone to love on them. And that means they're popular, as opposed to being true to themselves and being like inspirational to people, and people like digging that person's being themselves, and then they naturally generate admiration.
I think it's different, Jenna. I think you're talking about a different thing. You're talking about.
You think they're different?
Yes,
I think that it's of the same.
You think it's like an integrity thing that a person shouldn't need, because you have a very strong integrity. You are. It's an admirable quality of you. I'm talking about simply that sometimes a man becomes an even greater man when the woman or the wife gives it up to him a little bit. Now, I can't speak in marriages with men and men, or women and women, or relationships or partnerships. I can just speak from my viewpoint, from where I live and where I stand. And I think there is something to say that a man,
you can't even say the word.
A man, well, it's been so long since I've been allowed to be a man. I still think there's something to say, like, if you could give it up to me a little bit, or if you can't even go there.
No.
You think it's related to integrity, that it's like, that you should just be who you are.
No,
you don't need my
meaning
approval.
You'll get it when the sequence is proper, but it's otherwise like, I don't know.
No.
I have to flick my hair. I don't know how to articulate.
Okay, so I guess what we're going to need to hear is from some of you in the comment section. Once this is on YouTube, I guess it's already on YouTube, but once it's as a post, because I still think that there's truth that like even with all kinds of activities that a woman could be, that you could maybe stand to be, and our friend Harmony with her fiance, Lancelot, that if she was, because she's also a tough cookie, if she could sort of just man him up a little bit, she would have hacked that a little bit better. It's a hacking. Can't you hack it?
Do you don't care that you're just being told something you want to hear to make you feel like a man? Is there like anything in that to you that just doesn't feel right?
Well, what concern is that of yours? I'm the man. What do you care if I find it first? What do you care?
Because when you want someone to do something like that so that you feel a certain way,
it feels good to be manned.
Right, but when you are that,
but it feels good to receive it from the wife. I could be that, but it feels good to receive it from the wife.
But it happens.
Is there any men out there that find me on this, or is this all just a bunch of women and Jenna fans that are like, Bodhi, you're out of your mind? Hack it.
No, that's hack it. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
That's like with question mark.
Question mark. Hack it. Like hack the marriage. Like, it's like a hack. It's like a marriage hack. Like, you could get so much more out of a man by having
just
the man.
By being like, ooh.
Well, I don't want you to.
But would that make you feel icky?
Well, if you were like, yeah, that would make me feel icky. But not if you were like the real version of that, with a little loving and a little like wifiness on it.
Let me tell you how to hack it for yourself.
I already know. I've been told that.
Like the fact that you need it immediately is a repellent.
Totally. I know that about you.
But it's not just me. Anyone who needs like an approval from someone, it's a repellent.
You're not going to get it. That's the difference. It's not an approval.
Well, approval, praise.
It's not praise either.
Manning.
I think that you think it's approval and praise, and I'm saying there's a little bit to being a man that gets even more extra fluffed up and puffy when the woman's like,
Why do you pick that as the thing?
I don't know. It works perfectly in my head to say it that way.
That'll never come out of me. And like, not even that persona. It's not who I am. So what version, let me ask you.
Well, then I don't want to like do you.
No, I'd love to see what version you think that this should come from me. Like, in your mind, what does it look like to you? How does it look? Like, give me a little reality demonstration.
I'm too nervous. And the minute you asked me, I started to sweat a lot. I don't want to do you like how it should be. I don't know. It got me too nervous.
Yeah, but I'm not just going to be like, like, what the fuck? Like,
well, that sounded like you're scared. I didn't say like a mouse has come in the room. It's like, Papi, you're the king.
Okay, that I will never talk like that. So what? knowing that you're married to me.
It's how it plays in my head, not literally.
I
It's
know.
the
So I
aesthetics
would
of
like
it.
to know literally what this would look like coming from me. Like, what do you expect? Like, what is it that you like? Educate me.
Like,
Give me an example.
oh my God,
like,
it's so-
educate me, please.
I don't know, where you're like giving it up to the man.
I
Like,
know this is all conceptual. Like, say, for example,
well,
and then like actually
can't
tell
you
me.
talk to Harmony and other girls of yours that get it from them?
It's the blind leading the blind, apparently. So apparently we're not going to come to any resolution.
Okay.
You can't say I want something and then not be able to articulate what it is you want.
Okay. Well, maybe on the next podcast, maybe I could come up with some ideas.
Lindsay's like, never going to happen in a million years.
I wonder if there's any men out there that kind of get what I'm saying, that can help me articulate it. Because it sounds like I'm saying, I want you to.
Well, is it praise?
No, I don't want praise.
Okay. Is it like validation of something done right? Because I validate you all the time. Like, awesome, hon. Thank you for doing that. Or like,
yeah, that's thank you for doing that. That's thank you for doing that. I'm talking like.
Or like, wow, that was really done well. Thank you. That was cool.
I don't know. It's something that I feel
is
like.
Is it like, oh, good morning?
Well, maybe a little bit of that. Yeah. But you did it kind of, corny, like a little bit.
Because that's how you're making it seem
but
that you want.
But a little bit of that would be nice. Why does that feel so nice?
Because why does it feel so nice? For you?
Jennifer, Mary,
why does it feel so
Elfman,
annoying?
You are so annoyed at the thought of having to do that.
I am.
And your face that you look at when you look at me is hilarious. It's hilarious. You do this. I want you to know. Can I do you back a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. You do this. You look at my mouth a lot. You're like, uh-huh. Like it has a little bit of
that's the target of where I'm gonna pop you.
Yeah, it's a little bit of the when you're a little bit. Isn't that interesting? When you're a little bit annoyed, like when there's a lot of love, it can be in the eyes, but when you're a little bit annoyed, you're kind of like it goes down to the mouth a little bit.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you glance at my mouth when you talk about this, and your eyes get a little beady. Just a little.
I am. It's totally annoying to me.
Okay. Well, let's leave it there for right now because I feel like
I can move past the annoyance. I'm like,
Bodhi, you just need a little more attention, but we know that.
Okay, look, in my mind, and maybe this is my education from my mother.
Yeah.
Okay. She was definitely like she was old school, but she's a feminist. Like, look, her mother. This is what I heard my grandma say to my step grandfather, because my grandfather died before I was born. So I only knew my step grandfather. But she would be in the kitchen going, Daddy, she called him Daddy, do you want your martini before breakfast or after? Mm-hmm. So she was like that.
And that made your mom nuts.
As a teenage girl, was like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Like, what do you, like his servant?
Yeah.
Okay. So my concept is like what I saw growing up. My mom took care of the household and took care of us and made dinner and everything. But it was like, she wasn't like fawning over my dad. She expected him to like hold his own.
Okay.
And so I have like, guys should be able, she would say, men should take care of themselves. Men should know how to take care of themselves. And then it's like, if the woman does something, it's a bonus.
I think we're talking about different things.
Okay. But anyway, in my head, I'm like, you take care of yourself on the basics. And then like,
I take care of myself on the basics, but what about all the other parts?
But like, as I walk through the kitchen going, like, is that what it is you want? Look how big you just smiled just then. Just like what is that? That's what you like? You're a man. You know you're a man.
Well, there's
do man things in life.
You
have me as a wife.
I'd like the.
Isn't that enough? I'm an awesome person. You have me as a wife.
Well, there's no question about you being awesome.
To me, it seems like manning you up feels like less than the fact that you're married to a great person.
Yeah. Guess we're still not there yet, but that's okay.
Not there yet.
It's okay. That's all right. I mean, not everybody has to be there. It isn't that we have a fucking phenomenal marriage and we have fun every day of our lives. But this one for me, I'm still like, nope, you're still not on the boat that I'm paddling on. But that's okay because we have a million other things
I'd
that
like
we
for you to
drive
be able
on.
to give examples. That's
Yeah.
what I think you're missing here.
Yeah.
Because maybe I'll have a realization. If
Right.
you could actually demonstrate for me.
All right, maybe there's some men or women out there or anyone else that can articulate for us what it is that I'm trying to say, because it's lost on my incredible, magnificent wife over here. It's just lost.
Very
It's
lost,
just lost
on me.
Yeah, it's a different language. It's like
for me, I feel like my womanhood
Mhm.
is in my hands. And for me to feel like an amazing woman, that's for me to generate for myself.
But that's you and your approach to womanhood. I am my own version of a man. I'm not your version of a woman. So you don't need it, but that's not how it works.
You just did like you swang your finger and went back and forth.
Hi, Poppy.
Never gonna happen.
me,
That's not even who I am.
Call me Poppy.
No. God, what is happening to you?
Okay.
What?
Okay,
Do
so
you want me to call you Daddy?
no, not that. Poppy.
No. It's the same thing. That's just daddy in Spanish.
Okay.
Padre.
Padre.
Okay.
That's
You want me to
you can't even say.
No.
You have to go from daddy to padre. You can't even do the poppy thing. Oh, you can't do it. Okay. We're good for right now. I'm fine with this.
This is a work in progress.
This is a work in
But I
progress.
don't even think we've made any progress.
Well, it's a progress in that
it just feels like work.
is that we just had a podcast about it, and that you could maybe we'll look at some comments or maybe talk about it some more on the next podcast on the evolution, the evolution of Poppy.
Poppy does not live here. Poppy's not in our house.
Hey, Poppy.
No.